getting started with some gestures, and let's just loosen up and play with some shapes. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit, make sure I got my little chisel brush on, and do a couple of practice strokes. There we go, and we're off. Let's see, let's do some little squat version of a. We're working on like meditative pose of some of these little critters. And they had the stem, where the stem goes up here and kind of connects to the cap. That into itself is a an area to play with, and just have his head tilting back a little bit. And playing with your ellipses is a huge learning curve, so I'm going to play around with the ellipse. Give him a little hang over the top of the cap in my reference here for what I'm drawing. At least I have the mushroom cap is a has scales, it's called, just like these little nodules that fall off the top of its caps. And then you also under here, these are called the gills, and the gills have the little spores fall out. There we go. So there's one. Let's play around with some other shapes here. Let's do some inverse triangles. Kind of like almost creates like an hourglass shape. And let's see if he's or she do have the polymorphism, so have the male female shapes. And as a part of the polymorphism, maybe their bodies have different purposes for what their role is in their ecosystem, right? And you can definitely combine together. These are creatures, people, mushroom people, myconoids, and so the they can have mushrooms within a mushroom, right? So it doesn't have to be by any stretch. Usually, you want the counter, you want the arm going forward, maybe, as opposed to the opposite of the leg. You don't want them walking like a giraffe or Wolverine, which has the arms and legs going the same direction. There we go. And as I do that, I'm loosening up a little here and maybe bring the other arm out. So although I'm going fast, you can erase. It's not like if you have a pen and ink, with the pencil or with the I'm sorry, with the ink pen on paper, of course, less forgiving. So we have that luxury, so might as well use it. Looking down, not sure what yet. Okay, next one. Another circles, circles. There's also what's called a skirt within mushrooms. And then maybe this is where maybe some of those little separate mushroom brushes might come into play. And where the head is at. I mean, I just switched directions like 3 times while I was doing that shape. I have no idea where I'm at anymore. So I could do the bottom of the skirt and add some little mushroom feet. Foot forward, a little lower, foot back, a little higher. Just basic, some kind of little perspective helps at this phase in the game, I think. And we had the almost like samurai mask, one of our characters. We also have our owl. And the polyplores, almost like little discs, could be almost like feathers. And I like to do a gesture like down the spine and up, and then counter, geez, what's the word I'm looking for? Um, yeah, counter the upper body to the lower body, and then triangle, 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 triangle. Just reminding myself as I'm doing this, you have to sound it out so it's not just for your benefit. Definitely. Inner toes usually bigger. Maybe he's got the little grippy. I'm doing like little hoof claw toes for the main character. The arcs, bring your arcs back. Little fungoid claws going on here. And maybe he's even got a, I don't know. Stop on that one and keep going. Another sphere. Could do the classic, of course, Toadette, right? And although this one, I'm not sure. Older, younger, single eye, Cyclops? How strange would that be? The hair popping out. And then mixing, transitioning from triangle shape to round shape to square shape, right? Like that's definitely what you're playing with. Some of these are going to turn out horrible. I mean, let's be real about this, right? Like some of these I'm just gonna like throw away and never look at ever again. Some of them are gonna turn out really good. So it just takes like that second pass. So you go back, play at the silhouette, and see what's coming out of it. So if it's really bad, I'm just gonna really say hell with it and give it like the treatment of, you know, like screw it. Like maybe a piece of it is something that translates well and is used and sparks another idea. So you've almost got like frog, gecko, toe. I've been obsessed with gecko toes lately. You know, the outer one's usually the smaller one. Fix that. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe he's got a backpack. Maybe he's got three eyes. And maybe add some gills in there after all. Just tearing it up. Next one. Play with some cubes, some square pieces. Square-ish. Arc always for the groin. Usually can't hurt too much. Bring it up here a little bit. Yeah, and that the cap can be mini, you can really play with that cap. It can be jagged on the edges and curl around, and the gills can go underneath at weird angles. It could be like a really wonky one sometimes. And if you really need to, as you go, you can just grab it, Control T, and just straighten it out, right? Enter, grab it again, Control T, and warp, right? So if you want to play with the warp tool, yeah, for sure. Warp it up, and get some strong direction. Just gonna instantly bend and warp and look at that. Just way cooler than what I had before. Have some motion going on there. This has just got done. We'll make it a female. just got done swinging a big staff, maybe. I have a lot of the pieces we looked at the polymorphism, like using the Monster Hunter style, like using some shells and parts that maybe are from the creatures and the area around them. But I do want to do the male female forms in here for fun, so I'll make sure and accentuate that a little bit. And do something a little more dynamic. There we go. Lines on the feet, just little spatula. Usually works for a little triangle on top, little forward and little spatula at the ball, foot. Comes around, almost got his mouse ears, right? I could run with that. Maybe like radar, extra caps just for the ear. I don't know. And then if you're swinging like that really hard, you're probably the other arm you could do a variety of things with that. Maybe the other arm's back. You don't even see the other arm much, shoulder. And when we play with silhouette, we'll see how that goes. Okay. Keep on going. Oval the other way. Oval tall. Short, fat, and tall. Maybe some sort of gills coming this way. Cut across the top. And chop them down as we can. Maybe just play with the proportion of the skull, the head. Maybe he's down here. He doesn't move around much because he's so smart. He's a big giant. Big head. Mega Mind. And Mega Mind has a little skirt there. Maybe break it up into the other parts. Maybe make it a female ish again. Trying to keep some. Go. Trying to keep the posture, line of action. LOA going. Sure. There we go. And start thinking about more about what they're doing. Potion bottle. They are mostly all alchemists anyway. The other hand has holding a test tube. I got a bunch of test tubes and vials for these. Mad scientist, maybe a little, maybe. I was playing around with having hardly any neck or no neck where the head kind of runs into the torso a lot. So I'm just kind of defining those lines. I haven't been very soft as of late. So let me just try on the next one. Let me go really soft. All right, let's do some big wide, almost like Miyazaki lines. Like deep chasm, deep set eyes, like way back in here. In your mouth, like those little smoke spirits you saw. And then maybe like total low profile. Maybe the disc comes over, forward, back. If you want to give it some thickness, you can. You can make it more jagged. This goes around. And push and play. You can always make a copy of it digitally. Do it again. Not quite happy with that. I want to have more of my center point here. Maybe round it off just a bit. And back down again. And I am going, like I said, away from the Disney Miyazaki film a little more towards the sculptural side type of stop motion puppet. So we'll see if there's a nose. Chin, maybe doing a little much on the face. That's all right. So we'll play with the big body and a really low profile mushroom character. Little triangles, little triangles, little triangles, little belly, maybe 1 foot back, maybe 1 foot forward. So far, a lot of them are facing straight. These are mostly facing straight ahead. So as I'm going along here, let's play with having some on the side, or quarter turn, or 3/4 turn, or to the back, to my little upside down Star Trek position. Taking a walk cycle. And remember, the arm on the same side leg's going to be going back, so take it back. And then maybe he's doing a little twist to look back at you as he's walking away. What did I miss over here? Can't be sure. Maybe there's little mushroom growths coming up off different joints off his back. Maybe on his top of his feet. Even his toes, maybe his toes curl up. A little more decorative. So whatever pops in your mind, try to think of something different each time. Come back over to this one and go to my little brushes that I just made. Where's my mush brushes? Right there, open it up. There they are. Don't want the fade one. Oh, they're tiny. Oh my goodness. Make sure I'm going the right direction. That one's got the directionality turned on. There we go. A little overkill. Why not? Try the other new one. Let's see. Maybe just one. Maybe it's part of like the hair. Yeah, definitely. Huge difference for those ones. How long have we been going? 20 minutes? This is all real time, so that's one row. All right, let's clean this row up and see what we got. Let's do some silhouettes. All right, so it's all in the same layer, right? So let's normalize the size of everything here. So let's get everything to about the same size as it relates to as they relate to each other. So scale proportion, doing a lineup in a manner of speaking. Kind of happy with that. Okay. So just using the marquee select, whatever you got going on. My little wild things character. And this one here. Transform, bring it in. So yeah, just space them all out a little bit. Give them each one a little breathing room. No hard, fast rule here. Just get them in a lineup. get them all relative to one another. If you want one to be bigger than the other, like maybe we do a little super mind head guy here. Maybe I leave him taller than the rest just by a good 20-30%. Makes a big difference in how he's going to read. Um, don't need my little line of action note that I put in there. And this guy's a little unformed still. It's okay. Bring him over. Maybe like the mind head, maybe leave him. It's a big oversized. I'm almost getting some Oscar the Grouch vibes from him. Let's see. Might add some little mushroom eyebrows on there. And this guy's next. Control T, bring him over, and voila. Okay, so I think that's a fun little cast of characters so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Plus the ones up here and the other side. Let's see if I do my auto select by layer. If I click here, it's going to go to my other gesture layer. I can bring them over and finish off the page and back a little. As long, you can scale up a little bit, up and down in Photoshop without damaging the pixels too much. Especially for sketches, that's fine. And then with these gestures, I will take it up here, Control E, merge it down to the same one, and then maybe scale these up a little to match and space them out a little bit since I haven't done that yet. So this gives me a full row for sure. Like these little gnome looking dude. I don't know what this was. I think it's just this guy in the middle right here. But yeah. So I'll just clean up what I was doing earlier. It's fine. And delete. Come on. Okay. Delete. There we go. And maybe this is maybe just a close up of what one of them looks like when they're buried in the ground, just like a little cone, right? Of mushroom cap with a little growth on top, so it looks like a little hillock or a little. Yeah, you can see I blurred that a little bit. That's fine though. I can just go back in there, back to my main chisel, and just reform in some of the lines. Yeah, there we go, and play with it. And it gives me something interesting. I'm doing a second pass on it a little bit, which I haven't given myself the opportunity yet. I've been too focused on maybe this one. Kind of like Dorothy did with the Miss Moz character. Little Roots and little Rudy. And maybe just enough so it's not blurry everywhere. I don't have to edge everything out. But if he's holding this thing here, um, I do want to make sure that maybe he's got an eye right there. I haven't really spent too much time in the eyes yet. Maybe he's got a little mushroom beard. Haven't done that yet, and you can't even see his most of his lower body or face for that matter. Maybe I was doing little mushroom ears coming out the sides underneath the hat. There we go. Um, Back up to little mushroom brush here and bring it up a little more, and we'll do maybe a couple, make sure they're on the surface. And if you need to, you can zoom in, be a little more careful until I get what you want. Yeah, depending on how bad you did the scatter, it's going to be definite hit or miss. So you can go in there temporarily and just say, okay, I just want to get rid of scattering altogether and just click one time, right? Or get rid of shape dynamics even and just click one time. There. Now I can say, all right, I want a mushroom right there on top, very clearly, right? You can do that, right? I think directionality is still as off now though. So if I want to, right, play around with that, I can. And then I can go up one side, down the other side, up one side, down the other side. Yeah, no. Just playing. I mean, it reads, it's interesting, right? Makes something interesting happening there. That's for sure. Mhm. I can, if I need to, I can cut and paste. I can move things around. Whoa, a little more deliberately as needed. Control E, drop it down. So keep it keeps the name of the row below it. So just a reminder. And see this one, I can get rid of that. Cheer on the layer, of course. There we go. And Control D, L, lasso, and go to the move tool. There we go. Okay, I think that's all right. Lasso again. Go, move. Oops. Make sure I'm in the right layer. I have, with the move brush, I have the auto select on. So it works really well in certain situations. So you want to be careful when you have that turned on. So there we go. So I got a little lineup of little myconoids of all over the place. Maybe not so much in their gesture yet, but I definitely played with shapes and played around with body types and adding little custom brushes in there. Started doing some garments. So the next one we'll come back and we'll start to um, add some silhouette. And then when we get to color and pattern, we're going to start art directing it. We're going to kind of push and pull a few of these critters or these characters with some critters and some background pieces and see if we start defining our style a little better. All right, see you in the next video.